Tonight, young musicians learn from the sound of the South.
Plus, high school teachers expand their knowledge on Vietnam. Stay tuned, Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the High Definition Digital Production Center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for June 19, 2012. I'm Caitlin Crow.
And I am Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. This week, high school teachers are coming to Troy University for a program that will help them get a better understanding of Vietnam. All this week, Troy University is teaming up with the Alabama Humanities Foundation to play host to a summer institute for high school teachers aimed at the history and culture of Vietnam.
It's just a series of lectures looking at the country, the culture, the history from both the Vietnamese and the American perspective. And it's designed to help us know more about the country as a whole and also to be able to teach our students better.
We have a pretty rich program. We will have lectures on various aspects of Vietnamese literature, Vietnamese American literature.
The teachers will also be able to learn about the social, political, and historical features of modern Vietnam and its effects on the United States. And some of the participants in the institute say that the impact of the Vietnam War still plays a role in today's society.
We have 50 students from Vietnam on our campus. Our connection with Vietnam is very strong, deep-rooted.
The Vietnam War was such a pivotal moment in American history. It completely altered the way we live our lives, the way we see the world around us, the way we see our government, the way we view the media.
And what do the teachers and instructors hope to gain from expanding their knowledge on Vietnam?
The information given to our high school students in Alabama today is an update to high school teachers. Take that back to their classrooms.
Students, a lot of them haven't even heard of it, or they have a vague knowledge of what it is. So it's just important to be able to bring that into perspective and to share it with our students.
The Vietnam Summer Institute will continue until Friday.
This week, Troy University is playing host to a camp full of high school students, and they are here at Troy to learn what it takes to step onto the field. Judson Garner has more.
Tuesday afternoon on Troy University's intramural fields, the music of the Sound of the South was loudly playing, and there appeared to be a marching band practicing, but without instruments. This is all a part of Troy's annual Sound of the South band camp.
We go over not only conducting, but leadership skills and things like that, musicianship, how to read scores that we print music on, so things like that.
These are high school students who are seen as leaders in their bands, and they have come to Troy University to learn from university instructors and Sound of the South band members. Students say being in a band is more physical and mentally challenging than one may imagine. It requires endurance, rhythm, and mathematical skills.
To stretch. That's the main thing. If you don't stretch, you're going to be hurt the next day. You have marching. You have to roll your feet, which will work all your leg muscles. Your arms are up, working your arm muscles, counting, breathing exercises. You're going to have to learn how to do all that at the same time.
This camp not only provides high school students with extra training, but it is also used as a major recruiting tool for prospective Sound of the South members.
One of the things I like to hope to teach the kids is how to come to Troy and be a drum major of the Sound of the South.
It's very welcoming, and I just love coming here because everybody is like a big family.
I'm here because I want to receive extra training being a drum major, and what better place to come than Troy University. I mean, it's a wonderful music summer band program.
Being a part of a band is much like being a member of a sports team. Everyone is required to uphold their positions and work well along with others, and instructors hope students take away vital lessons from the camp that will help them when they graduate high school. Judson Garner, Troy TrojanVision News.
The Sound of the South camp will run until Thursday, when the campers will put on a show displaying the skills they learned throughout the week. The show will start at 12:45 in Sartain Hall. And now taking a look at news from around the state.
In Rainbow City, police say they've arrested 2 suspects in connection with vandalism at a Rainbow City church, where satanic symbols were spray painted on a building. A van, a dumpster, and a storage building also were vandalized at Christ Central Church, which is affiliated with the United Methodist Church.
And in Montgomery, a $25 billion national settlement with 5 big mortgage companies is helping balance Alabama's operating budget during lean times. The Office of Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange received $26 million from the settlement.
And in Birmingham, an Alabama swimmer is going to the Paralympic Games for the 6th time. Amy Bruder of Birmingham will compete in the Games, which will be held in London starting in late August after the Summer Olympics.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News. Find out the latest from Omaha and the College World Series. Dustin Carroll will join us next in sports with all the details.
But first, leaders of the world's largest economies are wrapping up a 2-day meeting. We'll have more on that story after the break.
Coming up, new signs of trouble for Europe's fragile economy. Will G20 leaders commit to a plan of action?
Do you like this top? It's so gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the students.
We feel like the students are our most important assets.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first-name basis.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Caitlin Crow at the Global News Desk. Caitlin.
Thank you, Bailey. Leaders of the world's largest economies are wrapping up a 2-day meeting in Mexico focused on how to keep Europe's financial crisis from spreading. We get more from CBS's Danielle Nottingham at the White House.
The leaders of the world's 20 largest economies smiled for their official photo, but the seriousness of Europe's financial problems dominated their meetings.
We are going to be working under your leadership with our European partners and with all countries to make sure that we're contributing so that the economy grows, the situation stabilizes.
The G20 leaders are preparing a statement of support for global job growth, but it won't include decisive action on the European debt crisis.
It's easier to sign up to declarations. It is much harder to push through the difficult changes that are vital to generate the growth and the jobs that our citizens rightly demand.
Just as the Greek elections began to calm fears about stability in that country, concerns over Spain's debt have grown, threatening to throw Europe into chaos and spread here to the U.S. The interest rate at which Spain borrows money is now more than 7%. Economists say those rates need to come down fast.
If they don't, then you will see countries like Spain default. And that will be a whole lot bigger deal. They're a much bigger fish than Greece.
European leaders will have a summit of their own at the end of the month. They are trying to convince the other G20 leaders and investors they are on course for fixing their economic problems. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
Jerry Sandusky's lawyers are calling a range of witnesses today, including his wife, trying to prove the former Penn State coach never sexually abused young boys. Manuel Gallegos has the latest from the courthouse in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
Jerry Sandusky's wife, Dottie, arrived at court for the first time since her husband's trial began. She could turn out to be a key character witness for him. The defense has called more than a dozen witnesses so far, trying to show the former Penn State coach had a stellar reputation as a friend and in the community through the charity he founded. Joyce Porter has known Sandusky for 40 years and testified on his behalf.
Think of all the thousands of kids that have gone through the second round. I mean, it's thousands to 8.
The defense tried to discredit the 8 accusers and their motives. A neighbor of one of the accusers' mothers testified she told him all owned Sandusky's house after finding out about the alleged abuse. The defense also questioned 2 investigators who interviewed some of the accusers. They tried to suggest that the investigators led the accusers to make accusations by telling them what other witnesses had said. A former Penn State wrestler who met Sandusky as a teen testified about his relationship with the former coach, saying he received gifts from Sandusky but was never abused. Sandusky's attorney drew attention earlier in the day when he spoke about whether his client will take the stand, comparing the drama to a soap opera and telling reporters they need to stay tuned.
Actually, it could be all my children, all our children.
Court observers felt it was an odd remark in a case with such serious allegations. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
In Italy, they're known as the White Widows, women whose husbands took their own lives because of financial hardships. Recession-related suicides are on the rise in Italy, and many of the victims are small business owners who had nowhere to turn when their businesses failed. Now their wives and their colleagues are working to change that. Anna Matrenga has a story from Milan.
Tiziana Marrone struggles as she reads her husband's final letter.
Ti voglio tanto bene, Giuseppe.
Her husband of 27 years set himself on fire in front of the local tax office in March, distraught over a tax bill he couldn't pay.
I think that my husband was desperate. It's the only reason.
She says he asked the tax office for help, but he didn't get it.
Since the recession, the number of people who've committed suicide for financial reasons has spiked dramatically, especially among the unemployed. But experts say small business owners, many located here in the industrialized north, are also at high risk.
Small family-owned manufacturing companies like this lighting company near Treviso have made this region one of the richest in Europe. But now they're failing at an alarming rate, 33,000 in the last 2 years. Owner Loriano Scatolin was desperate when he nearly went bankrupt. He says clients don't pay, suppliers are knocking at your door, and banks refuse to help you. An association of small business owners has set up a hotline and support group. The president says, we try and calm them down and listen to them because no one else is. Tiziana Marrone and other widows are organizing marches to draw attention to the crisis.
Something's going wrong in Italy. Somebody has to do something.
She says the human cost of the recession is already too high. Anna Matrenga, CBS News, Milan.